anger is so necessary. Anger is a positive thing. Anger is something that we need to be in defense of our own self-preservation. It's something that we need in order to stay well, in order to keep ourselves safe, to keep those we love safe. And usually anger is a form of self-defense and a form of information that in some way we are being both emotionally or physically threatened. Certain sensations are part of our anatomy because generations and generations developed that part of the brain, and those who developed that part of the brain survived. It kept them alive. And so when they had fear, when they had anger, it promoted their wellness. Then on the negative side, the point at which it's no longer helping us, if that makes sense, that point at which it's no longer feeding us information so that we can set boundaries. You know, this person is constantly violating our space, personal space. They're constantly assassinating our character. Now what we're finding is in certain circumstances, it doesn't promote our wellness. It actually kills us. The point at which we have set boundaries, they are no longer able to hurt us, but we're still angry about it. That's where resentment begins to take over. Now we either are letting it happen to us and we're just resentful, but we're not setting boundaries, or we're setting boundaries, but we've still held on to all of those feelings. And now it's simply eating at us. It's not protecting us from anything. It's preventing us from feeling well. The first piece of it is recognizing that they're no longer hurting you and being able to realize, okay, I'm safe from them. Because I think that's important. It's important to remind yourself at first that you're safe. And in doing that, it gives yourself permission to stop feeling all of those feelings and to be able to start moving in the direction of being able to forgive them. I think the second piece, and where resentment comes from, is the fact that our hurt carries over even past the event. And I think it's so important for us to acknowledge that, because hurt doesn't just happen when it happens. It's something that, especially if it's any kind of character assassination, it's something that really damages our ego, something that damages our own sense of self. Like, for example, someone lied to me about something that was huge. They lied to me and they lied about me. And it was someone in a circumstance that I could have never seen that coming. And so not only was I hurt when I found out that that happened, I questioned my own ability to make good judgments with regards to people that I spend time with. And then there's that sense of feeling foolish for being fooled. There's a lot of stuff that carries over from hurt. You know, people say you just need to forgive. And what's so scary about doing that is that fear that we're going to get hurt again if we were to let that go and pretend that that didn't happen. And so instead of trying to forgive someone, let's take a moment to walk a few steps in their shoes. And again, not with any forgiveness. No intention to forgive just yet. You don't even have to go there. Just like, let's break it down. And the more I was able to break down why they made those decisions, what was going on in their life, what their childhood was like, what was their thinking during that time and that context and incident, the more I was able to understand why they may have made those choices. Even if I still disagreed with them, and even though I was still hurt by them, I was able to understand, you know, if I was in that circumstance, I might have done the same thing. You begin to start to shift your perspective of what they were going through. So then a lot of times what we're able to do is begin to recognize that many of their actions were not malicious or were not directly a result of us. They weren't directly trying to take advantage of us. They weren't directly trying to hurt us. They were trying in some way to self-preserve, take care of themselves, save face, whatever it may be.